Alright, class. Well, it's good to be back. It's been a while. I've been recovering, and I know all of you've come by to check up on me, and I appreciate that. But now I'm back, and it's time to get back into shape, as it were. I know you all been studying, you all been practicing. Well, let's get back on with the curriculum and such, and it's good to see y'all face to face again. So, today's topic is going to be about the frigate. Now, pay attention, and we'll continue on. So, the frigate. Well, corvettes are arguably the cheapest and most numerous vessels in any of the Star Nation's navies. Frigates, on the other hand, are the main warships employed in all galactic navies. Frigates being much larger, a starship, or between 1 and 1.5 kilometers long and about 500 meters wide, count as the Navy's main offensive firepower. Where a corvette can only hope to fill in the gap in its formation, the frigate creates that gap or quickly exploits it. Frigates have multiple powerful big cannons, which are housed in heavily armored emplacements, designed and built by the best starship engineers of this empire, whose heavily armored turrets provide the craft with excellent firing arcs, making the frigate one of the best and well protected warships in the battlefield. Well, shielded and covered with plenty of armor plating, the frigate's hull is heavily reinforced since, according to most Navy doctrines, the craft has to be able to survive plenty of hits and then return fire with its big guns. Basically, it's got to be able to take it on the chin and take it well, and then deliver out the knockout punch. Well, that's the long and short of it. Let's see. Those captains who are given command of a frigate can also count on plenty of point defense and small, fast-tracking turrets. Although the ship is big, its point defense capabilities are probably on par with that of the much smaller corvette. Basically, good luck. Frigates are also have a larger, more spacious hangars than the corvettes. They can carry and service one full starfighter wing consisting of 3 squadrons, though most captains instead choose to have 2 fighter squadrons and use the rest of that hangar space to accommodate their Star Marine detachment drop ships. Let's see. So, frigates have larger crews and often use their Star Marine detachments to board other smaller enemy vessels. Basically ship-to-ship battling, kind of like what the pirates tend to do, favor. They more often than not carry dedicated, sorry class, I'm a little off right now, dedicated ground or space infantry troops and are expected to capture planetary or orbital bases and installations. In large fleet engagements, frigates are tasked with punching through an enemy's outer screen ships, dealing with the corvettes and, of course, other frigates. Since it is the best balanced warship considering cost, production time, and maintenance, most navies have their main shipyards constructing any and all frigate designs they have developed. So, that is one hell of a busy shipyard. Captains of higher rank, commodores, or even rear admirals often are given command frigates to use as their flagships. Slightly larger, the command frigate is often fitted with the very best internal ship systems and crewed by experienced personnel. Who would want to have a scrub manning the radio or the gun or doing basic maintenance? You want the best of the best, especially if you're a rear admiral and that is your baby. Such vessels are, of course, tasked with more important duties than simple border patrol. Star navies have their own slight variations in the widely accepted frigate designs, but the overall strategic and tactical usage of these ships remain basically unchanged. That, too, was challenged by the Terrans, of course, whose few frigates not only are of wide different designs, their tactics, too, are highly innovated, to say the very least. And that is to say the very least. And you'll understand why here in a moment. The Terran monarchy has fewer starships, and that ring special rings true for the larger crafts. Basically, we're the small guys. Vessels like frigates are considered incredibly valuable, and most often than not, they are of the command design. Terran engineers, I'm going to be honest, they outdid themselves and had far surpassed any other of the existing frigate designs. I mean, when I said they outdid themselves, I mean they made the Holy Grail as far as we're concerned. To hell with the others. After the invasion of the pirate lord Mayhem, or I'll just call him dipshit, excuse my language, and the loss of the humanity's three battle cruisers. No, it's not the Nina, Pinta, and Santa Maria. How dare you? Though that's funny. No, I'm gonna have you. Yep, you. I'm looking at you, big. Yep, you're the one's gonna write a report on it, and you're gonna tell me what are the names of the three vessels. Okay, that was funny, but I can't let you slide. Now you made me lose my place. Hold on, where were we? Right, three battle cruisers. Terran commanders decided against following any of the other existing, already established, and widely used galactic fleet doctrines. Instead, they focused on producing smaller capital ships, but of far superior quality. So basically, it's not how big is your gun, and it's not how many guns you got. It's just how good is it? Is it reliable? You're going to understand why our ships are a bit more superior than all the others. That core principle was implemented to the letter when Terran frigates were first designed and built in the latter decades of the invasion. Compared to smaller alien starships, the Terran frigate is designed to outperform and excel against them in every way. Instead of normal armor, it is covered with extra thick reinforced plating forged from the very best energy absorbing material. Its outer hull is made from the very same alloys that are ordinarily used for armor of the smaller crafts, like the Corvette, for example. Where most frigates have single particle beam turrets, the Terran craft has a quad rapid firing 88mm railgun. God bless it. In addition to this, almost got too excited there. Sorry, when I see an 8mm railgun, it just gets me excited. In addition to this, the craft is equipped with heavy laser cannon emplacements in its bow, port, starboard, and aft. This design feature, which all Terran frigates and corvettes share, is tried and tested in battle, I assure you. Albeit those weapons can hit enemies from a much closer range, and their arcs are not as wide as those of its railgun turrets. Nevertheless, the pulse beam proved to be just as deadly. Just got to get in a little closer. The frigate's heavily shielded torpedo tubes can launch big anti-capital ship torpedoes, who are themselves armored. Because, of course, what good is your torpedo if it gets shot out? You want to make sure it can reach its target all the way. Some torpedoes have advanced designs and are even equipped with an automatic point defense turret. Again, clears the way. Terran frigates carry a total of 3 elite interceptors and or strike craft squadron, which are piloted by the much feared monarchy's quote-unquote top guns. Being slightly larger, they are housed more Star Marines than what their enemies could, count on. As such, the Monarchy frigate is often called a pocket cruiser, and very much so acts like it during a battle. In stark contrast with most well-established Navy doctrines, the Monarchy's frigates first and foremost engage the enemy fleet's screening vessels, which, with its long range and powerful railguns, it can lock on, track, and fire upon multiple escorts, quickly wiping them out, or at least create holes in the enemy defenses, which I bet you can imagine how absolutely irritated. Now you gotta send out your meat shields, and they're just gonna get wiped out. Sucks to be those meat shields. That's why you're getting trained up to be scouts. Be smarter. Those opportunities are quickly and mercilessly exploited by its heavy starfighters and bombers, who are crewed exclusively by ace pilots. Now, all you cadets here, you're working your way up to becoming an ace pilot. Now, I don't expect any of y'all to go for a bomber or a fighter, except for you over there. You're crazy. The rest of you, I expect you to kind of stick with what you got or go somewhere along the lines of an interceptor. But, yeah, that's for another time, I guess. We'll talk one-on-one, see which way you want to go. Let's see. Instead of outright concentrating fire at one enemy frigate at a time, the Monarchy's quote-unquote pocket cruisers aims to heavily damage the main armaments of its counterparts, leaving them for others to finish. Frigates use the same gas cooling system which all Terran escort crafts have equipped, and therefore can maintain a constant higher rate of fire with its main railguns. In many occasions, one single quote-unquote pocket cruiser, I just gotta say pocket cruiser and don't go with the quotes, in command of a Terran strike force, was able to defeat multiple enemy frigates, most notably in an engagement above Sirius Prime 1 Terran battle group, faced off the combined forces of 4 pirate clan frigates, a dozen Tazarian corvettes, and other enemy support crafts. I can't remember all the stuff, it's a little hazy, but I do remember this part. Finally, after 2 months of desperate fighting, and it was desperate, the Terran starships were able to punch through the enemy blockade and reinforce the besieged colony. Despite the unfavorable odds, in just 3 minutes, the Terran battle group managed to destroy or cripple virtually every enemy starship. Only a couple of the escorts and transports were able to get away, but they've, be honest, they only managed to temporarily escape the colonists' wrath. You could say they were only gonna die tired. But that's, yeah. Well, anyways, I believe that's all we really got for right now. I am pleased with y'all's progress, and I hope that you continue to keep buckling down and hard charge this. I don't know when we're going to be done with all the classes. We did get bumped back pretty significantly with all that hullabaloo on that, yeah, you know what I mean. And then the recovery, so we got pushed back pretty significantly. Well, anyways, lights at the end of the tunnel. Y'all will graduate eventually. But anyways, carrying on. Y'all have a wonderful day. Study your material. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Carry on. You are dismissed.